live stream, you can use that address. Here you go. Bada boom, bada.
Well, I'm not prepared. I don't know if this is streaming or not. Hopefully it is. I was in the process of doing something and oh yeah, it is live. All right. So him jumping ship like that quick, um, I had something planned I wanted to show. As you're seeing right now on the screen is my daily Davinci or Davinci Resolve 18. Um, so I want to show you something I created while Doug was streaming. He says things, it just makes me think about things, and then I actually was able to do this. And I have a QFA. Does anyone remember that little phase of Doug? QFQ, KFD, whatever. QFA, question for audience. And that question is right here. Now, we all know, you know what? Let's go ahead and just kill. Oh, did that redirect finally? Yeah, it did. It redirected. Now, see, this is how I know it redirected. I have an echo. I can hear myself. I do not have that silly, stupid autoplay on, and it redirected automatically. Made 6 though when I show you what I'm about to show you. So I'm gonna get rid of that echo. Actually, I'm just gonna pause that. That'll kill that. So going back to monitoring myself. That sounds horrible. Tony Wallow was first. Good afternoon. Tony Wallow says normal. Tim Soul says good morning or afternoon. And had a few seconds of spinning audio, and we are not hearing. Give me a 1 if you can hear audio. When mute. It is almost like he's sitting beside me, ladies and gentlemen, or he's in my head. So yeah, no icon problems to report. However, when I woke up this morning, I had an issue. This is what was on my screens. I had 4 monitors of 18 Kens with Doug in the background. And you just know in his mind he's going, make fun of me, buddy. Watch what I can do. 4 screens of 18 Kens. Boy, I need some help. You know what? I think I will send an email to live Windows training hyphen Doug Betts, and explain my problem to him and see if there's any way he can help me resolve this problem, just short of a nuke and pave. It is horrible. Horrible. I mean, 1 or 2 me, 1 or 2 Dougs, I can handle that, but 18 me's? Oh, good Lord. Yes, I actually wanted to put a caption in there somehow for the 18th time, but I couldn't do that. Now the question is, and it should be rather obvious, is this done in Davinci? Oh, some of you are thinking, wait, Davinci was running when we started, or is it done in OBS? Now I'll give you a hint. I'll give you probably what can be Jeff Ryman. Where's Jeff? Jeff, where are you at, Mike? Jeff, where are you? Jeff? All right, let's get on with the show. Daily Davinci. Yes, there are 2 of me. This is what got me thinking about. Actually, watching Doug's trailer for the 18th time got me thinking about that. I just don't have them floating around because all this is if I come in here to my Davinci camera with no green screen and I hit paste, then it puts an instance of whatever I last copied, which in this case is Doug, and we just put him down in the middle of the screen, and then you can adjust him hitting the transform. You can fit it to screen. You guys can't see this because it's not coming across, but it's just, I was just messing around. So I'm going to turn Doug's day off. I'm going to turn the second instance of me off. And then we're just going to have 1 instance of me. I'm going to fire up Davinci Resolve. I do not have not had any issues with the icons yet. Knock on wood. And then at some certain point in time, I will have to go in and re-enable the taskbar across all 4 managers just to dispel or just to disprove or prove if that was what was causing the issues. My suspicion still is that was the problem, but the more I think about it, the more my head hurts, and the more I think about it, the more I realize that's probably not actually the issue at all. So I'm going to get myself going here. First thing I want to do is, someone asked me something the other night. I think they said, "What's your name?" And for some reason that made me think of a few things. First thing I want to do is the nightly stream announcement. I do this generally right after the stream so that I don't forget. And there for a minute I was a tad bit worried. This is the nightly stream announcement. This is the entire setup that causes this to work. It's obviously a video song, or a MP3, excuse me, and then a picture, and then another picture, and a picture, and a picture, and a picture, and the text is actually done with the fusion composition. I'm starting to understand why people use fusion compositions more and more. So I'm going to click on the fusion composition. I'm going to go to the fusion tab, and that brings me into here. And then I don't need to do this. I'm actually getting better at not moving it, but just for historical reasons, nostalgic reasons, and because I wanted to move it, I moved it. Then what I do is you'll see nothing showing up here in the inspector. I don't know if I can double click that. Yep, I can. So that's cool. I'm about to learn something again. Why did my head hurt when I knocked on wood? Now I know where you're at. So back to the show. I just thought of something Doug said a while ago. I want to change, obviously, Thursday night and the date to Friday night and the 10th. So I have this set up to where if I go in here right now, I cannot change any of the, if I can highlight them, but I can't change them. If I change this color, it's still going to be wherever white's at, and I have no idea where it's at. That's because I don't have the modifiers activated. Hello, Josh Kinder, Fortnite Gaming Channel, Computer, and Confusion. How are you? So I'm going to click on modifiers, and now I have this already highlighted. So if I wanted to change the color, I could, but that's not going to work, I don't think. Let me bring this up over in this tab. Highlight that, just Thursday night. And then I should be able to scroll down to, which I can't. Why can't I go down to colors? This is interesting because it's in text. I can change the font, I think. Now, if I change the font, yeah, see, the font's changing. So why can't I change the color? You know, it wouldn't be the Ken Stout Live Daily Davinci Show if there wasn't an issue. Not sure why I can't change the color, because I know I can change the color because I've done it. Anyway, let's get going. So to change this, it's real simple. I come in here in the inspector under modifiers, and I just go over to the beginning and I delete out whatever day it's not and put in whatever day it is. And then I do the same thing down here. I go to the date. I delete out the digit that's not going to be used, and then I put in that digit, and that solves the problem. So without any issues tomorrow, that should be the time of the stream tomorrow night. Greg Guy, everybody. Greg Guy shows up for Fortnite. We finally woke him up before 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the East Coast. Good morning, Greg. I hope you are enjoying your first cup of coffee. I'm down to about a quarter cup of my first cup of coffee. All right, so what do we need to do now? Well, the first thing we need to do is come over here and play it over here to make sure it actually did change, because occasionally it does not. That's all I need to see, because all I changed was the date and that. Now, if I wanted, I ought to be able to change that color. And this is really frustrating me that I cannot. And do I have to go into advanced? No, it's not under advanced font controls. I don't know if it's under shading. Apparently it's not under shading. Couldn't be under transform. Transform, by the way, is where you do all these neat little things. Rotate it. You can see the Fridays moving. You can move it this way. Keyframe it if you want and just animate it. But I don't want to do that. So I'm going to reset them by either. You can reset them by clicking on the dot right here, or double clicking on the Y. Or if you're real ambitious, you can come over here, backspace that out, and put 0.0. There you go. They're all back to normal. I am a bit miffed as to why I cannot change that color. It is frustrating me. Turn that off. So when I turn that off, all the customizations I did went away, because I did that under character level styling. I'm going to turn that back on. I'm going to come down here to the word stream, and it's still not letting me do that. Interesting. Of course, with my Davinci, probably got issues. Well, I know it's got issues. There's no probably to it. It has issues. So now I've done that. I tested it. It's good. I want to render it out, and this will be announcement May 12th, 2023. Not 22, 23, but doggone arrow. May 12th, 2023. I don't have to change anything. It's already set up to go to a specific folder. It's already set up as an MP4. I hit add render, and in about 8 seconds or so, well, it says 11. Now it says it is done. I don't even go check it anymore because I don't need to do that. So that's how that works. Pretty simple. Once I call this a template. That's all it is. It's a template. Once that's made, I'm good to go. So I'm just going to kill that real quick and restart it. And I'm doing that specifically. I'm going to go to the taskbar, because when it locks up every now and then, I can't restart it. I can close it, but I can't restart it. And I come down here in the task manager, and I'll see 2 more instances under background processes of Davinci still running. Then I just kill them in there. Lately, it has not been like that, so I'm good. So kill the task manager, reopen Davinci. Catching up with chat. Greg says he's had a cup of coffee. He's on a Dr. Pepper. Oh, me. I've got my water, if that helps. So what's next? Well, let's go to the first place YouTube awards. I'm just briefly going to discuss that. I guess this is a day of not really sure what I wanted to do, so I'm just going to show you some behind the scenes work. This is how the first place works. It is my voice, which is horrible Alfred Hitchcock impression. Apparently, I rubbed off on Doug. You'll notice I do Alfred Hitchcock, or attempt to do Alfred Hitchcock, and Doug does the best Forrest Gump I have ever heard in my life. I cannot. I was blown away. Doug, who would have thought Doug does impressions? Good jobs. So this one's got the picture, 2 instances of said trophy. the date, that's all this is, and then the person's name. I recently changed this. I had it a different way, and I recently changed it. I like this way a little bit better. So, if I were to change to last night's first place awardee or person, or however you want to say it, you see me trying to use those big words. I really shouldn't do that. I used to have to go in here and change the picture out. And then I always have to go in here and change the date out, because obviously the date was not the 8th or whatever day William was. And that, again, is real simple. I come in here and I go to the tab. And in this case, because we're going from a single digit to a double digit, I'll delete it, put the number 10 in there. And that changed it right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. This one says 5-9. This one says 5-10. So then I click on this one and do the same thing over again. Or I can cheat and do the Alex Cheek method of copy and paste and make way too much more work for myself. I just find this to be the most easiest and proficient for me. And it changes. I don't have to hit enter. I don't have to do anything. Now, William was not the recipient. So, in order to, hold on, I've so much turned into Doug that I now have to cough, sneeze, or otherwise mute my microphone. Give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. Give me a 3 if you cannot hear me. So, how do I do this? This is so easy. I come up here to the media pool. I go find the media that is not there for some reason, that I don't have last night's person. If last night's person was there, I would just simply put him in, and I'll just go find last night's person, because I'm really shocked that last night's person is not there. And I'm not exactly sure where last night's person is at. Because you know me, Mr. Organization. I don't think he's in here. Oh, he is. Not the best picture, but it'll work. So now I just grab William's picture and slide him off there a little bit. Grab Tony's picture. So, spoiler alert, Tony Wallow was first last night. And then we're going to take William, and he should not, I'm going to backspace over here to delete him off the timeline, but he should remain in here. So he's highlighted, backspace, he's gone there, but he remains here. So cool. Good, audio's working. I got the numbers I asked for, 59. Now, if I play this is going to look weird because, well, I'll just demonstrate. So we'll close Media Pool, we'll go back to the beginning, and we'll hit play, and
Blocked by popular demand.
and that makes sense. So this is a little bit of an OBS lesson as well as a Davinci lesson. So to resolve that problem, you simply come down here to the picture, grab the picture, and drag it out to the end of the timeline, and that does that. Now, clearly, I don't want Tony Wallow to be William Dawson. So again, we just click on the text and change his name. Now, once I do this one, I don't have to worry about anything else, because this will be a template for Tony Wallow. It'll be saved, and every time Tony's first, which is practically 6 days a week, I just have to change the date. And that's, I'm not poking fun or digging on Tony whatsoever. I think it's honestly good as well as funny that there's competition to be first in comment, in chat. And it's growing across channels, I've noticed, which is cool. So I thought that I would try to reward people with doing something kind of like this to do that. Now, I will go in there at some point in time and get rid of his name. And then I should come in here to this and drop his picture down. Oh, I can't do that. Why can't I do that? Well, Ken, you can't do that because let's go to Tony. Let's go to the color tab. Okay, that's not going to work. Let's do this a different way. Let's go back to here. Let's bring Tony over here. Bring the playhead over there. Make sure the playhead's somewhere on the clip of Tony. Go back to the color page. There we go. So now I'm simply going to make an attempt to use the magic mask. I'm not going to use the window. I'm going to use the magic mask. And I'm going to draw a line here, and here, and here, and then here. They say the more area that you mark, the better. Full disclosure, I have been messing around with it. It should get everything. So now that is matched out. Ah, but what? I don't see what I'm looking for. Oh, I forgot a very important step: to add an alpha output node. Connect the alpha out to the new node. And there we go. So now I still have a little bit of the Tony Wallow down there. Can I come in here to the minus tab right here and get rid of the wallow without getting rid of Tony? I cannot. This is the issue that I'm having. I got rid of some of the Tony, or some of the wallow. You know the saying, you can take the wallow out of California, but you can't take California out of the wallow. I know, weak attempt at humor. This is probably where the clone would come in handy. I think, however, right now, I believe this will work. I think. Yeah, I'm good with this. So now if I come back over here to here, oh yeah, this will work. And I'm going to plug this back in over here. Bring the playhead back over. And why don't I have Tony? Wow, that's cool. Not. So I don't have Tony over here. Why don't I have Tony over here? Go back to the color tab. I don't have Tony because I don't have Tony. Oh, you know what? I think by the way I did that last little removal, so let's go Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. That didn't do it. That's interesting. Or I did discover this a while back. You can, right over here, you have your strokes. You can remove the strokes. So let's remove 6, and then 5, and then 4. And he's not showing up at all. So is this locked up? Wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me at all if this is locked up. Even though I have functionality over here, I've never run into this issue. Okay, so it's not locked up because that's plain. Go back over here real quick. Look at the color tab over here. Go to color tab right here. Okay, so I need to do this a different way. So if I get rid of all these keystrokes, will Tony reappear? And Tony is not reappearing. Does Tony reappear over here? Tony is not reappearing. Okay. Get rid of the alpha node. Does Tony appear? Yay! Tony's back. Whew, I was briefly concerned. So I'm going to try this a different way. Rather than get rid of Tony, I'm going to still use the magic mask. And for some reason, the song by The Who, which I can't think of the name right now, it's not Magic Carpet Ride. I believe that was Steppenwolf. Anyway, I'm going to grab the plus, and I'm just going to go here. Magic bus. Thank you. Here. Here. Connect the alpha to the alpha. And then, hello everybody, my name's Tony Wall. Sorry, Tony. I'll quit picking fun. Can I invert this? I can. Problem is right here. Now, can I, if I get rid of that, oh, that's not going to work. So let's get rid of that keystroke number 5 right there. Let's go to the take away dropper and see if we can take that away. And does that bring in Tony's? Oh, look, one little mark got rid of all that nonsense. So let's go down here and see this. Now, I think I'm going to have the same issue. I think. Ooh, that was horrible. That made things worse. All right, let's go ahead. Alpha to alpha's connected. Let's go back over to the edit. Good deal. Now, I know why that was. Wintermute probably knows why that was. So now I have that. With Tony highlighted, I'm going to grab the Y, and I'm just going to bring him down until I get about right. There. I'm going to the text. Do I have the text in here? I do. I thought I did. I wasn't sure. Do I have it? So right click, key level, modifier. I did that for a reason. I've not tried this yet. I want to see, can I move just Tony himself, the name, go to transform. Thank you, Tony. So I can pivot that, I think. Well, it says I can pivot it, but I don't see anything pivoting. Can I rotate it? Oh, I can rotate it. Maybe that was the problem I was having, is because I do remember now I can expand him, but I don't want to do that either. And I clearly don't want to mess with the Z, so I want to leave that right like that. Whoa, text. I can change the color in here. I need to get with Tony and find out what colors he likes and go from there. But I'm not seeing anywhere. I want to move Tony down a little bit, and I don't see that I can do that here, although I can anchor it left or right. So what? It's at 0. What if I move this? Oh, okay. That's interesting. And then the vertical anchor, same thing. No, the vertical anchor didn't change at all because it's anchored horizontally. I don't know, but there ought to be. So if I come back over here, I'm still on text. I go to layout. I know I can move it here. I do know that, but I want to actually take the word Tony and move it over here, and possibly wallow and move it down here. If I come over here and I change the size, that's just going to do that, which is cool. But I really want to be able to go into character level, which is here. And I know I'm there because it says I am, and I'm on modifiers. I really want to be able to grab one. If you can grab a letter, why the heck can't you grab a, so I can grab the letter T, maybe, I guess not. Let's try the letter W. So I can grab the letter W, and I can change the color, I believe, or not. No, shows it's blue. Oh yeah, it is blue. The W actually changed. If you look at the difference between the W and the 0 or the O, it is a different color. So that's working. Now I can go back to white by hitting white. Black looks pretty good. Or I can change the color. Let's go to something horrible like this. And then I can cancel it. It's like it never happened. So I'll work on that later. What I really want to work on right now is There is no means for me in here that I'm seeing right now. Maybe that's a fault of Davinci or a fault if I haven't learned it good enough yet or well enough, whatever the correct is. Transfer characters, transfer words. Let's try words. And then let's see what this does. Okay, well, it's not going to transfer the word because I'm highlighting a character. So put this back to, what was it, 0, 0, I hope. Didn't know you could have a negative 0, 0. That's good. So now let's go. I got it on words. I'm going to grab Tony. I don't know if that grabbed him all or not. I know that did. All of them are highlighted. Transferring words, spacing. What's spacing do? That just changes the whole thing again. Both words. So is there a option for singular words? Lines. I'm not sure what lines does. We still have Tony. Let's go with spacing. And I don't see that anything's changing. Of course, I'm probably miles ahead of, okay, now that changed. Something's changing. Rotate this. So that's just something I got to work on. For today, I'll figure out how to do it for tonight by coming back over here. There is another way I could do it actually. I could make another text. God, I know what this is called and I can't think of it. And then just put Tony and then Wallow and do it that way. But that's kind of messed up. So for today, let's go make sure we're on that. Why is that not? Oh, because go to layout. Go to transform. No, it's got to be in layout. And I don't have the layout tab in Fusion. I noticed that. And then is there any way? No. I'll adjust this later. This just gives you the basic premise. And then I don't render it. What I do is I come over here to the color tab, right click, grab still, and then it puts the new one in there. It's always highlighted. And I export it to my stills, and that is how I do it. Now, in this case, I don't want to do that because this has got audio in it. And if I don't remember that I muted the audio, which I didn't even mute the audio this time, I am guilty of, I'll mute the audio because I don't need to hear audio when I'm working with this. If I don't mute it, then you get that gibberish right there, which is better than my imitation anyway. So anyway, that'll wrap it up. I'll figure out a way to move. I really like this. I might want to make it a little smaller and put it up more up in this area. And it looks like does look like I need one little change here that I'm noticing. Hey, Doug went over, I'm going over, okay? Okay, so I want to work with this one. It looks like that one needs to come a little bit to the left like this. But then that's okay. And then I need to go figure out which one of the text is that one. Well, I got lucky 2 times in a row. So now I want to make sure I'm on the right tab. And then I want to go to layout. And I want to move that over to the center somewhat. And that's going to be a problem when you get into double digits because now the 3 is not showing up. And then I need to go find the right ribbon. Wow, 3 in a row, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Unbelievable. I cannot believe that. So now this is ready to be rendered if I wanted to leave it messed up like that, but I don't. So I'm going to work on it later. I got a couple projects that I'm working on. One does involve the icons, but it doesn't involve 18 Kens. We started the show with Doug infiltrating my show. We'll end the show with Doug infiltrating my show. Doug, the tribe has spoken, and you are voted off the tribe. I'll see everybody tonight, 10:30. Hello, Darren. You joined us just in time for me to end. I'm a little over my half hour, I believe, because I got the T-5 from Tony probably about 7 or 8 minutes ago. I want to thank everyone for being here. Tony Wallow was first. Jeff Ryman was second. Or Tim Sowell was second. Jeff third. Roy Kerr said no audio, but I think we fixed that issue. He hadn't unplugged. Okay, so the audio was there. William Dawson, Tim Sowell. See, he told us it was one of the Dougs. Anyway, 18th time. Good night, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. I will see you. This is not confusing at all. This gives me an idea, too. Bye for now. Oh, yeah, and I hope this was entertaining, helpful, useful, or one of the two.